We're just doing the little pit fire out on the front porch today.
The cold there?
No, it's perfect. Like 72 right now.
That's nice.
Can't complain about that.
No, definitely not.
You guys staying busy?
I do this part time, just mainly out of boredom. I've got an internet business that I do really well in, and I started doing this about a year ago just because it's interesting and something to keep me busy.
Work on all appliances or just a couple?
I'll tackle anything. I like learning.
Do you seal system yet?
No, that's the only I'm working on that. I'm studying for the EPA, and then my plan was to buy a bunch of units and just kind of swap them out. Swap out the compressors and just kind of learn on my own.
Just go buy a mini fridge, cut it open, and then put it back together.
Yeah, I was gonna do a couple of different ones. I'm the type of person I learn better by doing, but it's hard to do it when you're in a customer's house. Especially, I wouldn't even try a seal system in a customer's house.
The EPA test is open book, by the way.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
I've got mainstream engineering. I got all the books. I downloaded them online. Paid like $30 for them.
Just take it on your laptop and have your iPad in your hand.
Okay, I didn't know that. I was gonna go to an air conditioning supply. I don't remember what it was. They do the test every month.
All right. Yeah, it's only I think it's I don't remember what the cost. I think it was only like $25. Wasn't bad. I actually had a gravy day today. I think it was pretty easy.
How many calls do you average a day?
It really just depends because I do sealed system work in that, so
Yeah.
it kind of varies. And I like to pick and choose what I work on. Yeah, I think I did like 7 or 8.
Wow, pretty good.
Yeah, especially when it's all profit.
Yeah, definitely. I saw one of your videos a couple weeks ago. Oh man, what part were you talking about? This little fan. You're talking about, I don't remember the part number, but the brand was like some ridiculous price, but a matching part was a different price. I've got it somewhere. I wrote it down and I found a supplier in China. They got it for like $2 a piece, and they're $30 a piece here. So I started investigating. I might do an Amazon FBA and with appliance parts.
I mean, some of it, they're gonna say like there's quality behind the OEM, versus the Chinese knockoff. And yeah, I mean to an extent, but I mean as long as your specs are pretty good and your temperatures are within range, most of the time it's not too big of a problem.
Isn't all that stuff made in China? Well, not most of it, but in general, all the high air stuff.
So I mean, there's an argument, and I think Mike Carlson answered it pretty solid. 838 generic, the vertical mount Whirlpool heater for the dryers, and there actually is a small diameter difference between the heating coils. One's like 1.3 millimeter and the other one's 1.1 millimeter. I mean, so a minuscule difference, but I mean, does make the difference in longevity.
Right. I guess you got to play it by ear on each job. Depends on you can't get it locally, too much money. Too many variables.
Biggest thing is like I just like them because it's available. I can buy 5 of them for the price of one.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Doing the job right now, Ronnie?
No. He's a technician. Zoom.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know something like that existed.
It doesn't. You didn't see anything.
Yeah, you didn't see nothing.
Zoom.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's going on, fellas?
Into the Zoom class here.
Howdy.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll text it over to you. Did you get my text earlier? Yeah. All right. I'll bring you something tomorrow morning. Okay. Cool.
Where's the leader at? Oh, there he is.
Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing?
You're muted, Alex. I can't hear you.
I hear him.
No, I'm not, Bobby. Although you are in a cave of some sort, or maybe in front of a fire.
Yeah.
Nice, man. Is this backyard setup?
No, front yard. We do it redneck style out here in St. Louis.
There you go. There you go. Well, how's everybody doing today?
Good.
Well, Rod, I like your background. I'm not sure what exactly is going on, but it looks very Matrix-like.
Oh, you can have different backgrounds in Zoom rather than people seeing your house and whatnot.
Oh, yeah, I have seen that, but I've never really looked into it. Welcome, well, yeah, welcome to some new faces. Rod, Jamil, is it Jamil? Is that how I pronounce it?
You're muted.
We've got you muted right now. I can't hear what you're saying.
Jamil.
Okay. I will try not to butcher that. But Patrick, Mike, Bernard, Mark, nice to see y'all.
Alex.
So you're cutting out a little bit. What was that?
Oh, what's going on? How you doing, man?
Good, man. Good. Good to see you.
Yeah, I seen on Facebook you I asked that question. You guys talked about that last week.
Oh yeah. You had posted up in Facebook. It sounds like you are wanting to reach out to appliance repair business owners to like be a contractor for them on specific stuff. Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah. We were talking about that last week. And if you'd like, I can shoot you over like a link to the recording and the timestamp. Because it's like an hour-long recording, but it was a little later that we were chatting a little bit about that. I don't know. Hey, why don't we jump into it? Because I know that we definitely have some owners in the house right now. So Bernard, do you want to share with everybody kind of like what is going through your head, what you're looking into?
Sure. Hey, what's going on, fellas? So, no, I was just wondering, man, what's the best way to approach owners, man, because I'm feeling like that would be like a good a good way to supplement some of my calls to get some work from other appliance business owners. So I just want to know what's the best way to reach out to them,
Looking for work, or are you trying to get work?
Trying to get work, yeah.
The biggest thing going to be like when you approach an owner. I mean, are you wanting are you only wanting to do 5 calls a week, or I mean, are you wanting to be an employee?
No. I'm gonna do my own thing, but just because I know when I used to work for companies, I noticed like the companies I used to work for used to have subs, just guys that they threw work to. They didn't work for the company, but it was just if for whatever reason we were swamped or whatever, they had subs where they can dish off some work to, and I was just inquiring about that. That's all.
The biggest thing that comes to mind for me as a business owner is, I mean, are you going to represent my company in its best interest? Do you have your workers compensation? Do you have general contracting insurance? I mean, these are all things that propose liability issues, just before walking in the door.
Right. Right.
But most of the time, like when we sub to different companies, it's going to be, you know, there's going to be a W-9, there's going to be an exemption form. I mean, there's
Right.
you know, to run through that.
Yeah. Just thought that was a good way to supplement some calls, man, because you know, I'm starting my own thing. And
I think
I don't know, man.
I was gonna say, I think
Huh?
TK said something on Facebook about that exact subject. Basically along the lines of, you know, I would email, you know, the companies in your area, who you are, what your experience is, what kind of insurances you have, and what you're, you know, you're looking for overflow. And that, you know, I think me as a business owner, I'm going to want to make sure, you know, whoever doing my overflow is going to protect my customer and not steal my customer. I think that's a big one in the industry. Other than that, I would just send emails, who you are, what your experience is. And definitely, you know, if you've got insurances, and you're looking for overflow work.
They, you know, there's a lot of third-party lead generation places out there. You know, Home Advisor, Farm, some other ones, Home Shield, Thumbtack. There's a bunch of yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a bunch of ones like that that'll just give you, you know, calls. I mean, they're going to have a substantial fee for it. I mean, breakdown or whatever it is, and there'll be a, you know, a setup for each one of them. But I mean, yeah, if you're just wanting overflow, I mean, they'll generate the leads, or you can go to Alex and, you know, and generate your own leads.
Well, let's play this out a little bit. So some of you other guys that are owners, or just put your owner's cap on. If somebody were to reach out to you and be like, "Hey, do you work with subs, or you interested in working with subs?" Like, what are the kind of things that pop into your head, or what would your response be?
I would want to know what kind of experience, you know. I wouldn't want to send somebody into a customer's house that didn't know what they were doing. They're going to damage something, and in the end, cost me money.
What else is in here?
Yeah, so, you know, you guys, some of you guys that are regulars here probably get tired of me talking about putting yourself in the other person's shoes, but that's some of the stuff that I'm hearing. You know, Bernard, I would say that this is something that you're going to do. Yeah, just try to put yourself in the, you know, put your own owner's cap on and put yourself in those people's shoes and think through some of the things that they might have in mind, or some of the things that were mentioned, like how important it will be for that owner that their brand is going to be represented in a way that is appropriate for them. You know, making sure that they're, you know, they're cleared with like liability, with insurance and that kind of stuff. You know, the topic of whether, you know, getting that customer stolen. We were kind of talking about that last week, essentially, in those sorts of subcontractor or referral situations between companies and techs, who is going to own the customer, so to speak, moving forward. And then something that I'll kind of pepper in on this topic is just it's kind of this concept of, like, as Bobby put out, you know, you can reach out to, or not you specifically, but people can reach out and try to become a subcontractor for companies. And it is something that I would say could be easier in the short run in terms of time and money investment. But it sounds like it is something that could be more beneficial for the business owner that is subcontracting out in the long run, because of that brand recognition. You know, let's take Pace, Bobby's company. If Bobby were to bring in a subcontractor, that customer, in their mind, they're dealing with Pace. So when they need a repair that next time, they're going to call Pace. And yeah, so I mean, there's always going to be kind of like a split in the road where it's like, put in more investment early, and that could be time, that could be money, that could be a combination of them, like with generating the leads yourself, or for yourself. And then it's sort of like a bigger payout in the long run. But then it might make sense to take that other approach where you're getting that work in the short term, and maybe that's just filling your bank account up to the point where you have that budget to start generating the leads yourself. Just some things kind of spitballing.
I'm gonna say, Bernard, what city are you in? I can't hear you. You're muted. Still can't hear you.
New York City.
Oh, you're in the Big Apple?
Yeah, man.
Man, I mean, if it was me, I would work on building my own brand, but that's just me. And like I believe Pace mentioned, there's so many ways to get leads from service, homie. I mean, there's dozens of them. But
Yeah.
also, I know other guys in the industry that they just do Google pay-per-click, and they're 100% COD running 5 and 10 guys.
Right, yeah.
I know, I mean, that is my background, but I don't do it anymore. But I know Alex, he works with a lot of people doing pay-per-click. Especially in New York City, man, that's a big dollar market. I mean, I lived in Clifton, New Jersey for 10 years. So
okay.
I know the market really well.
Yeah.
I mean, I would focus on building my own brand, if that's what you're looking to do ultimately.
Yeah.
Bypass, siphoning off work from other people, and work with somebody like Alex, or there's other people out there too, but to get you a Google pay-per-click up, because trust me, I mean, the spend versus the reward is worth it.
Got you. Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Well, that and you're building your clientele. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
You do good work in that. People aren't gonna look in the phone book again because they already have a guy. They have you. They're gonna call back to you. The same reason if you sub for somebody else, or let's just take for example, you get a warranty call from Whirlpool. This company that does Whirlpool work, and Whirlpool says, we're gonna send a guy out. Well, Whirlpool doesn't send a guy out. Whirlpool has another company, and that company comes out representing Whirlpool. And if that company does good service with them, that customer is not going to call Whirlpool again. That customer is going to call the company that was there doing work in their home that they had a good experience with. They're going to call, Mr. A company. And that's going to be where ultimately you're going to build your clientele just because of, good service.
Right.
Yeah, I'm curious, Bernard, what is kind of where are you at right now? What's your situation? It sounded like you're saying that you're getting ready to set out on your own, or you're just starting, and that's kind of where your headspace is at.
Yeah, I am. I'm on my own as of right now. So I'm just trying to figure out the best way to just, get some calls in, just keep me going until I could get this machine rolling by itself. I just needed some feedback on what other techs think about that approach.
If you're gonna do it, do it. I mean, don't just put a toe in and see how it feels. I mean, you're gonna jump in the water.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, you're right.
Right. I mean, you get 5-10 calls a week, average, a PPC per call is $185, $200.
Yeah.
5 or 10 calls, putting $2,000 in your pocket a week.
Yeah.
Don't go at it just a little bit and try to get 1 call a week or something. Go at it hard.
And the business is there, so.
Right.
Yeah, it is. No doubt about it.
That's how every company that that's out there did it. I mean, we jumped in both feet.
Right. Yeah. You cut the umbilical cord. Yeah.
No safety net.
I hear you, man.
I'm curious, how long have you been out on your own, and what have you been doing so far for getting the calls in?
Well, I just started. So Facebook, Instagram, I'm gonna do the pay-per-click thing, I guess. I don't really want to mess with warranty companies, man. I mean, I know babies can't be choosy, but
How long
I
have you
really don't. Huh?
How long have you been a tech?
18 years.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Then
You could be rolling in it, man.
yeah, just
Yeah, I've been a long time. Yeah,
yeah, just look
and
at generation sources, and I mean, the day you start it up, they're going to be throwing you calls.
right, right, yeah,
There's also companies like ApplianceHD.com, and I think there's another one. I think it's a appliance repair men or man.com, and they'll send you work and they collect the service fee. If it's $60, $70, whatever it is, that's what they make. You make the money on the repair. Once again, I don't recommend any of that. I recommend just grabbing the bull by the horns, getting your pay-per-click campaign going,
right,
doing some Facebook still, maybe even some Craigslist. I ain't done it in a long time, but a couple years ago it worked.
yeah,
Um, it's scary. There's enough work out there though to really just kind of grab the bull by the horns and do your own thing.
right, yeah. Yeah, I did Craigslist, man, but well, I find that Craigslist is like a lot of.
Katie.
I mean, I like Craigslist, but it's a lot of people that's really looking for a discount, really cheap, really
That's a negative side of it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a couple of things to be aware of, and they've been touched on here. One is um, like again, it comes down to that level of investment, and that could be an investment in time, that could be an
Yeah,
investment in money, a combination. So I
right,
would say that the first um, option that I have seen, newer business owners go with that doesn't really involve any investment or much is going with warranty companies. And then the idea is taking those warranty jobs and trying to nurture and convert them into a longer term COD type.
right, yeah, yeah,
Um, Now, one of the things that would be a challenge or that you would want to be aware of with that is, again, put yourself in the other people's shoes, put yourself in their mindset. The warranty customers typically are not going to have that same kind of mindset as a COD customer. They've already
right,
paid the warranty plan, so they're expecting come out, fix it for free. Like I've already put my money in, now what am I getting for it? So they're going to be in that kind of headspace.
yeah,
Uh, so it's going to be a little bit more of an uphill challenge to kind of like prime them for reviews and that kind of stuff. But that would probably be the route that again takes the smallest level of investment, if any at all.
yeah,
And you have all kinds of lead generation activities that you can do that would take you time, but you wouldn't have to actually pay a platform or a manager. Like you wouldn't have to pay a company like mine or the appliance repairman and that kind of stuff. And you wouldn't have to pay the platforms to advertise. And these are things like Facebook, Instagram, all the free kind of organic type of advertising. But you still are investing your time. Um,
right,
and then you have some of these lead generation services that have already been mentioned. Those are going to be kind of like a flat, based on a pay per lead flat fee. And
right,
that
yeah,
brings out one of the downfalls that I've observed. And that is if that lead generation service is able to generate that lead for a lower amount, they're still charging you $35 a lead, $40 a lead. So when they're able to create that lead for less, they pocket the profit. They don't pass that on to you. The other thing that I've found with most lead generation services is that they don't really do a very good job or any job at all in representing your brand. It's most likely going to be again, putting ourselves in the customer, that prospective leads position, they're going to be seeing refrigerator repair New York, and they're going to be
right,
clicking on an ad that is saying something like that. Some of these lead generation services, they will ask you that when you pick up the phone, you say, New York Appliance Repair, how may I help you? And they don't even want you to say your brand name. So that's the second sort of downside to a lead generation service. Upside to a lead generation service, it's easy. You pull out your pocketbook, you pay them per lead, and the leads come in, but you do have to deal with those other downsides.
Right. Right.
And then you have what I would call that next level up of investment, and that is working with an agency of sorts, where they are going to represent your brand. They are, whatever they're creating, you're owning. It's like your own intellectual product. The ads, the landing pages, the websites, you have a say in the messaging, how your brand is being represented, etc. And then also, depending on the model, I can only speak for experience with how I have my agency's pricing model set up. Like if we're generating leads for a lower cost per lead, that savings is passed on to the business owner.
Wow.
So it's kind of like, it's this scale, on one side, it's like no investment upfront. And then the value that you can get on the long term is less or harder road. And on the other end of the spectrum is like more of that investment up front, but therefore in the long term, there's more value or more opportunity for value in terms of retaining the customer or charging more for the customer, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
I don't know if that helps at all, but kind of a little bit of a crash course.
Oh, no, that would.
There is another plus side to using those third party sites. I mean, I don't like them. I try to steer away from them now. But one honest thing about them, you do get to cherry pick. I mean, you get to see what you're looking at before you buy with some of them. Other ones, it's just, they're gonna bill you no matter what, and they're gonna throw people at you that want to. They don't want you to fix anything. They just want to buy a hose from you.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you'll get, some companies will offer that, and the other companies will offer legitimate repairs, and they'll charge you $60-$70 per lead. Now, granted, I mean, you may go to that call and only get $15 because they don't want to fix it. The other thing is like what did these companies promise to get that lead that you have to fulfill now? Well, they offered same-day service. They offered a service call fee will apply towards the repair. They offered that you're going to wear booties and you're going to put floor protection down. They're going to do certain implemented standards that you're going to have to uphold.
Right.
So I mean,
Right.
I heard you guys mention appliance repairman. I've only been in the game for about 4 months, and that's who I started out with. And after I understood what they were doing, I stopped. I let them go because I say they was charging $59.99 to the customer. So you go out there with that $59.99, and the customer thinking that's your service fee. And you basically go out there. If they say they don't want to, they don't want to do the repair, you basically have to sell the repair to get your money.
Right.
So they say you don't want, they don't want the repair. You walk out of there no matter how far you drove or whatever. They say they don't want the repair. You walk out of there with $0.
Now, on the downside of that appliance repairman, I don't know if you guys watched it on the news or not, man, but that appliance repairman's getting, I mean, tons of bad publicity. They were on some news channel the other day. I saw them, and I was like, "Oh, you got to be kidding me!" The guy went in there for a drain pump on an LG. He walked into a setup. There was nothing wrong with the washer at all.
Oh yeah, I seen that.
$700 for a 2001 T LG washing drain pump.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not trying to talk bad about him.
Now, I don't know if you want to blame Tarm for that one or you want to blame that technician, but both of them had a hand in it.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
And that's a great point. If anybody hasn't seen it and you want to, it's a show called The Marketplace, Canadian show.
CNBC?
Yeah, Marketplace.
Yeah. But that's a great example. So so using some of these lead generation services, it can put you in this position, where, it's kind of messed up. They set him up because that guy paid that, he paid that $65 or so. He showed up and then he saw that there was nothing wrong with it. So that I would say it's both the lead generation service and that technician that made the choice to, be dishonest. and pretty much say, yeah, there's a problem, we need to replace something that doesn't need to. But still, you're being put in that position where it's like, hey, I paid to show up, so am I going to take a loss, or am I going to do something else to try to break even or make some?
Exactly. Yeah. Yep.
But
I was thinking the same thing, man.
yeah. But yeah, that's kind of how I think of it. There's like these three different sort of categories of ways that you can options that you have for sort of getting started with some lead generation, and they have their pros, they have their cons. But definitely not trying to make this the lead generation hour. What else is going on with you guys? Any particular topics or things you guys want to work through with each other?
Yeah, who all here?
Yeah, well, I had another question, just one more question, man. I don't know how many people work on high-end appliances, but that's mostly what that's mostly what goes on out here in New York, in the city anyway. So I got an issue with this LeBeer getting like information for LeBeer refrigerators. Can anybody help me out on like parts or parts supplier, or no, or they don't know? I don't know.
Have you already contacted your vendors and distributors?
Yeah, the one distributor, he's saying it's like 2 weeks, a week, 2 weeks for LeBeer, just LeBeer though, parts. I'm like, oh man.
Well, then
So
he has a source to get them. I mean, I'd ask for the identifying part number and then Google research on it. I mean, some
yeah,
parts, they take. I'll be honest, like Northland, some Sub Zeros, some Thermadors. I mean, some parts you actually have to look for. I mean, you can't just go right to the
yeah,
distributor and grab it. But if you can get a part number, well, then you can do your own research.
right, yeah,
Your own parts.
gotcha. I might have to go that route then.
Speaking of parts, who here uses Marcone?
Yeah, I do.
All right. Have you guys had any issues with your billing?
Oh no, I never had a problem with that.
So Tuesday, I went in and I ordered $573 worth of parts. It was basically a LG compressor 1706, a LG evaporator, some other things. Equaled up to 573. They hit my card 3 times for that 573. That
Wow.
$573 worth of parts turned into $1,700 off my card.
Wow.
And they told me that, oh, well, it was just a hole. It'll come back on in 24 hours. Well, today is now Thursday, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 3 days now. Now they say it's a legitimate charge. They apologize. They're going to refund it, and I'll have it back in 5 to 7 days. I'm like, ouch.
Oh man.
So just yesterday was a $250
What?
part order. I got hit twice for.
Wow.
I'm like, we're getting up around the $2,000, worth of parts that I've already purchased that you're double and triple charging me for. This has gotta get under control.
Wow.
But I didn't know if anybody else is having parts with that because I've tried it online, it did it, and then I tried even calling in, to prevent it, and it did it. It did it again. I'm like, what do you want me to do?
Man. Wow. I never heard of that one.
I'm curious, do all of you guys, when you order parts, do you guys all put it on a credit card? Have you guys been able to negotiate terms with your part suppliers or something different?
I actually run a parts store, a dropship parts store, and I do everything on credit card just because it makes it easier.
So if you have a distributor and you are dedicated and loyal to that distributor, depending what your part volume per month is going to determine what your rate is. So, I mean, certain ones, if you're doing bulk sales, like, well, prime example, I'm doing 7,000 a month, through Marcone. And then, I'm doing others with others, but Marcone is my local area. That's my go-to where I can go pick up same day. That's where I can have everything,
Mm,
sort of quicker and faster for me. So it makes more sense. But
yeah.
because of my volume there, prime example, I don't know how familiar you guys are with like parts or whatever, but let's just use like the LG, the 1706, the TCA 38151706. My cost on that is like two.
Ice maker.
No, that's a universal compressor.
Oh, okay.
So my cost on that is like 240, and reliable, is my cost on that is like 273. So why would I pay $33 more plus pay shipping to have it, shipped to me when I can pick it up locally and, get a better price?
Right. Well, yeah. Yeah. I don't use my comb for everything. Um, I mainly go to the local distributor, and because I usually get it quicker when going to the local distributor. But Marcone usually uh they pretty much ship fast. I figured out, and I swear I didn't know this for a long time, but like in the corner it's just a box where you put your area code. And I didn't know this for a long time. So every time I ordered parts, it defaulted to some other area code, right? And then somebody pulled my coattail to that though. But yeah,
You're going to talk to your account rep,
yeah,
set yourself for a dedicated location where, most of the time it's going to come from here unless it's not available there. And in which case it'll go by proximity, based on that area code.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's something to be aware of. A lot of these websites and just online platforms, what they do is they look at what the IP address of your internet service is, and then they will automatically like custom tailor the results to that location, which is something that we run into with in the paid advertising space a lot because we target ads based on location. But yeah, something to be aware of. Bobby, I know that recently you were talking about some ways that you were either, I don't remember, were you actually doing this or thinking about ways to try to get better rates with your part supplier?
Yeah, and you just push one off on the other. Well, they're giving me a price for here, they're giving me a price for there. There is a parts help tool, and it's called mypartshelp.com, and
Oh, that's awesome, man.
it's a website that'll show you, Encompass, Fox International, Marcone, Reliable, API, all your different distributors, and it shows their availability and their price. And you can even pump in, your account numbers onto it, and it'll show, dealer price, on those as well. So you can get a real good insight on, where is the best bang for the buck. So you're not spending
Right.
$30 extra, with company A when company C had it for a cheaper price in stock.
Cool. So a kind of negotiating for better rates. Just like, hey, I can get it this much over here. What about volume discounts? Do any of these companies have a standard, like a standardized, I guess, like price for volume? Because I know that if like if a company is going to be spending X amount of dollars per month, or is that something that's a little bit more informal?
That's, that's kind of what I was just touching base on. Like whatever your volume is with that company, the loyalty that you have with that company. I mean, the more volume that you're pushing through it, it doesn't have to be volume in one part. It's not just the fact that you're buying 10 or 20 of them. It's the fact that you're spending, X amount of dollars with them per month. And that's usually when, you need to talk to your account rep, and say, hey, I'm doing a lot of business with you guys. You need to come down on that price a little bit, so I can do more with you. Or, like prime example, I don't know what your guys' return policies are, or what your vendor return policy is, for your distributor. So like most of the time, the standard is what, 30 days. But the more loyalty you have with one distributor, the more perks you get. So like prime example with Marcone right now, I believe I'm at 90 days return. So if I have a problem with something, I mean, it's, I've got triple, the standard time, to be able to return a part or get a core on something or, whatever it be. I don't know. Rod may have some insight on that, being a website parts guy.
I missed it because I'm actually processing orders.
We were asking, where is the cheapest place to get a part, and what kind of discounts can we get going through with different distributors?
That's the thing. I mean, I use Reliable, Marcone, Encompass, and Commercial Sears Parts Direct. Reliable may have it at a good price, where the other three don't. Basically, I own ExpressApplianceParts.com. It's a drop shipping, 100% drop shipping parts store, but it's retail. So when I get something in, I go to one of the four and I basically try to see who's got the cheapest. I'm actually trying to find a way, maybe develop some sort of system to automatically check their website, one of the four, and see, who's the cheapest, rather than having to log in and look and all that stuff.
Write this down, Rod. It's mypartshelp.com.
Yeah, I'm working on something better than that. That's crap compared to what I'm working on.
Drop me a line.
But,
yeah, you're gonna have to share once you are ready to launch.
Yeah,
well,
definitely.
I'm working on that, and I'm working on the tech sheet database with TK. So
the bad thing about getting it the cheapest way isn't always the fastest, and that's
that's the thing. There's other variables, but yes, I mean, the first thing is you try to look at the cheapest, then you look and see, who's going to get it to you quickest, who's got the best reputation. But I mean, like I said, I buy from all four of them. Sometimes I get hiccups from some of them, but in general, I've never had any issues. So, and I had 70 parts today come in online that I'm shipping out. So
are you using third parties for that? Kind of like I know Marcone does it.
No, I built my own Express Appliance Parts. I built that myself.
Well, I'm saying that they'll represent. It's like for a certain fee, they'll even answer the phone as you.
No, I do all my own SEO and all that. I've been doing that for years. I built my own system, that way I can manage the SEO. I mean, we accidentally launched this, a month ago, and I've got over 100,000 products showing up on Google, and getting sales 30, 40, 50 a day, and do zero advertising. Whereas the Marcone one, you're using their template, you can't SEO it. Basically, all you do is put it on a business card and hand it to a customer.
Right.
So,
you guys have you guys have any problems finding certain parts?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, if there wasn't this freaking part shortage, I'd be, a multi-millionaire just in this one venture.
It is a part fucking shortage, so. So does anybody lean on one distributor more than the other, or it doesn't really matter?
Well, I'm blessed because I have everybody in my area. I just popped in for 2 seconds because I got to go to the barber shop. My schedule's so tight. Of course, this is Miss Ford, the one, the only. How's everybody doing? I use Marcone and Encompass, mainly Marcone because I'm blessed enough to have a Marcone in Miami, one in Pompano, which is basically Broward County or Fort Lauderdale, and one in Palm Beach. And I cover those areas, so I just roll through those. And then I have Encompass and Reliable. Encompass in Fort Lauderdale and Reliable in Miami. So I don't ever really deal with a parts issue.
Wow. Man.
Y'all need to come get some sunshine, man. What's wrong with y'all? Come get the suntan. South Beach. Feel that light. Hey, Bobby, you know about that.
Yeah, I'm down the road from you.
Where you at, boo?
We talked on the phone once. I'm in Port St. Lucie.
Oh, what's up, pimp?
How's it going?
Y'all know I have to come on and give y'all a little spice in your life, man. You remember what Beyonce said, girls rule the world, right? We run the world, girls. Who runs the world, girls?
We've missed you, Rochelle. Glad you could join.
Y'all too, man. Dude, I'm out here trying to live my best life, bro. I'm trying to extract my round brown ass out of my system, and I'm trying to put automated systems in place, and I'm getting my ass. You know how it is, you know.
Yeah,
it's
always quite the endeavor to build out systems, but once they're in place, they definitely can make your business, your life easier, and help your business run.
Then you got a business after that.
That's right. Yeah, there's a saying out there that you don't really have a business until you can get hit by a truck, and one day the business keeps running.
Yeah, let me tell you how blessed I was today, Alex. One of my customers, this dude is a beast, right? He has like 35 trucks with Amazon, right? So, and he has a dedicated route for Amazon. And so I'm there fixing his dishwasher. And he, like, Shell, they just gave me 10 more routes, 10 more trucks. I'm like, dude, you're professional. Of course you're going to grow. Really smart guy. And that's why I'm all about developing relationships across the lines in different industries, because I always take something from everybody and learn and try to throw it in my world, you know? That guy is a legit genius, man.
Speaking of building and growing, have you guys been getting a lot of flooding in on like property management companies and some of these other ones we've been getting a lot that have been hitting. I think in the past couple days, there's like 4, and they're like chomping at the bit to actually have servicers do the work.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I got approached by Rent Progress. Have you guys heard of them?
What was the name?
It's called Rent Progress. Rent Progress Residential. Jeremiah and Diego, they run the South Florida market. And they are all these people, they're hurting for people to repair appliances. And
wow.
Yeah, they have like 120,000 properties that they own throughout the United States and 9 states, and they don't have people to do the work. But that goes back to negotiating and making sure you get your money. You know what I mean? That's why I'm not a big fan of the property management. I got to get paid.
Are they wanting to do like a net 30 and a W-9 and exemption forms and everything else with you?
Well, they sent me a vendor packet because I guess they subcontract. To be honest with you, Bobby, I haven't had a chance to stop, honey. I'm trying to get my life together. Like I said, I'm going to get these naps cut off my head right now. I just popped in to say holla holla.
You and my wife.
I have to give y'all a little chuckle every now and then, let y'all know I'm still living. But shoot, man, look, I get up at 5 in the morning, man, and I can't get back in the bed. I'm trying to streamline my damn system.
Christina calls customers, and she's like, I got you, boo boo. Don't worry.
Let me tell you, I bet they love talking to her. I mean, you got the secret weapon. I'm trying to tell you.
You do. It's like, it's like, I got 20 years in it, but she's got this PR shit where they just love talking to her. They don't like talking to me. They want to talk to her.
Yeah, but that's a beautiful thing, man. That's called a dynamic. That's a blessing, man. I've been telling all these dudes where they wives have their back and answering phones and doing all that good, listening to people and listening to that y'all you don't want to listen to. Man, y'all, hey, she need a raise, bro.
Now you're getting muted.
That's good shit.
So I'm curious to hear from you guys. We have the holidays coming up. We have Thanksgiving, Christmas, the holidays, and all coming up. So this has been quite a year, but what are you guys expecting? What are you guys preparing for in the next 4 to 8 weeks?
It's oven season.
Yes. You know what? A lot of ads out there, talking about the oven, your stove, your cooktops, things like that. A lot of igniters, man. Yeah, a lot of igniters, a lot
Man,
of
I'm only.
sensors.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I'm only.
I'm curious to hear, like, what are some of you guys doing to prepare for this, or how would you recommend for people to prepare for this influx?
Every time you go to do an oven job and you buy something at a cheap part, whether or not it's an igniter, a bake element, don't buy one, buy three.
There
Yeah,
you go.
Right.
yeah, stock up. I mean, stock up.
Hey,
That's the best advice.
I'm only working on it is you know what I'm working on? Thermidor, Mila. That's it. I ain't working on nothing else. Y'all can have Whirlpool and the rest.
Hey, where are you sourcing your Thermidor part sheets?
Where do I source them?
Yeah, where are you?
Oh, I get them straight from them. You know, I got to connect, bro. Look, it's a place called Southern Coastal. I think
Oh, I've
it's
heard
called.
of it.
You go through Coastal?
Yeah, they're in Jacksonville. So all my Sub-Zero, Wolf Cove, all that, and then Thermidor. Like right now, I gotta. You know what? That just reminded me. I need my ass whooped. I gotta order a part for. I got this account at Trump Plaza, and I gotta order parts for this damn Summit.
Nice.
Call us a little Summit under the counter fridge.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's what I'm talking about. I love y'all, but I really need to get my life together. So I'm finna go dark for a minute because I gotta drive across the street, and you know how Broward County is. I'm not trying to be on cop. If the light is on, they will be stopping my brown ass. Trust me. Mm-mm.
All right. Well, best of luck to you, Rochelle.
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm just incognito. Oops, excuse me. Can I say that on here?
Well, you can say whatever you want. I mark these videos as adult content when I post them up.
Yeah, I hope you do, because if you publish any of mine, you better, because I say anything. And my mom be like, I swear I didn't raise you like that. Yeah, but seriously, I get those parts directly from them, and if I don't get them from them, I'll get them through Marcone.
Marcone's right out there.
Well, I was trying to find a Northland power module for a refrigerator. Very expensive part. So at first I called my vendor. I called my distributor, Johnstone, and I told them this is what I needed and what I had to get a hold of. They quoted me $2,850 for that power module.
Wow.
That's an expensive part. So
Bro, you got to go down to Miami, bro.
No, so then I call. That's what it costs. That's what it costs at distributor level. So then I called Northland, which is Marvell, by the way, and just bought it outright through Marvell, $2,245.
What you quoting that job at?
Oh, now you're gonna get all personal and shit, huh?
I hope you do like I do. I make my customers pay. Hey,
Man.
a part like that, they give me $3,500 up front. I can't move because they got it.
So retail on that part's $3,465.
How do I know? How do I know? It's all I work on.
So, but now that again, now I saw some sites, trying to boast that part for $5,000, and I was like, yeah, right. So labor for that job is $1,000. I have to have a second man.
Yeah, man.
I have the part sitting in my living room. I'm doing that job in the morning.
There you go.
How long is it going to take you to finish that?
It's a time quote on it is 4 hours, but I'm gonna try to do it in 2.
So Bobby, how do you feel about high end now, buddy? How do you feel about high end now, bro?
Man, I was doing high ends when you were first getting your metric set, working on cars.
Girl, they be trying to give me a hard time. Oh, she just got here. She doing. You damn right, damn it.
Yeah, that's where the money's at. High end is. I mean, it's You don't work on a Jaguar for the same price that you'd fix a Cavalier. And that's just,
And in most cases, it's all the same. You know, all you got to do is just get on top of your game if you over your head subcontracting. That's why I'm all about relationships. Yeah. I know.
One thing, let's try to jump topics here. I don't know how you guys communicate with your local companies, you know, like in your area, but there's about 4 or 5 of us that I've networked with and became friends with here in my area, and we all come from different areas of, you know, our region. And you know, it's like a, you know, the mobster thing. You know, we all came to a sit down and we drew the line, and we said, okay, you know, Pace Appliance is going to have east of the river, and you know, this appliance is Toto. But at the same time, we're developing a good network between each other, and like a grouping, a strength. Where if I get an advertisement out of my area that's in their area, well, then I naturally, you know, defer the call into that company. And the back scratch is returned. You know, they get one in my area, I get the call from them. And this prevents our logistics from me driving an hour out of my way into an area I don't want to be in, because I've got more call volume, you know, here in my local area, but I don't want to give away the call. So this is kind of like a, you know, get a fish, give a fish kind of type of thing. And it's worked out very good. If I get stuck on something, or if one of, you know, the other companies get stuck on something, you know, they can call me or I can reach out to them. That unity is, you know, pretty strong. And so I don't see them as my competition. I see them as, you know, what's the word besides competition I can use? Something besides competition.
Friendly competition. So this has been working out well for you, Bobby?
Yeah. In fact, so like prime example, this Northland call tomorrow. One of my companies I'm friends with is actually meeting me on the job tomorrow, and we're going to both tag team and repair this unit. I'm actually calling in, you know, extra hands on, you know, to be able to get it. Now, at the same time, if they have a job where, let's say it's a double oven or a built-in they have to pull out and they need an extra manpower, you know, I mean, they can do the same thing and call me and give the guy, you know, the respect, and, you know, schedule it out, you know, far enough where, you know, they can put it into their roster. But at the same time, yeah, it's that respect.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely, at least at this time, it doesn't seem to be changing anytime soon. There's just so much demand for your guys' services, you know, with, I mean, like, Mark, are you still scheduling out over a week?
Yeah, we're scheduling into next week.
Oh,
sorry.
But
Sorry.
anyway, no, Mark is muted, but I heard him nodding his head. You know, Pace is scheduling into next week. I know that another that I'm working with, they're 2 weeks out. So with this high level of demand, yeah, you guys need to think outside the box. You need to, you know, get creative.
Yeah, with the one guy that's looking for extra work, he should check with companies around him, jobs he don't want, that they don't want, that he might be able to do on his own. Like maybe they don't do dishwasher installs. Maybe they don't work with dryer vents. You know, do what they don't do and get your foot in the door with these companies. You know, sometimes you got to take scraps to keep busy.
Yeah, you know, Bernard, that's a good point. I was not thinking about that earlier. Maybe as opposed to reaching out to be a sub, try to reach out and just find out what work they don't want to do and see if that fits with the work you want to do, because then you can turn them into your own customer, you know, and you can represent your own brand.
Right. Yeah.
Who is the one looking for work? Who is that?
Hey, hi, my name is Bernard. I'm out here in New York City, man.
She's gonna have you move down there.
I feel sorry for you. Move down to Florida.
No, there's too many people here. No.
It'll pick up though. I know that's for a fact.
But no, have you reached out to Jeffrey and Michael Bailey? They're in New York.
Yeah. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna get on the phone and I'm gonna definitely start reaching out.
Yeah, but reach out to those guys on Facebook. We all in the same group, so that's a good look.
Right.
But I agree with Bobby on that camaraderie because that's the only way I get. I'm telling you, I work with Brandon. I work with Mike Check. I work with all those guys. So I'm blessed to be down here with them. So Brandon has done a lot of the commercial jobs and stuff like that for me, subcontracting them, things like that. So I have a lot of those kind of relationships because that's the only way you survive. You know.
Cool.
And it gives you something to talk to. That way you can actually have a conversation about what you did all day, and the other person not just look at you like deer in the headlights.
Yeah, and then on top of that, it's wonderful to see people win because I had one guy call me then. He said, "Shell, I hit 100 G's." He's like, "The first time I ever did it in my life." I said, "Congratulations, bro. I hit another 100." You know what I'm saying? It's nice for people to be in business and to experience life. I'm still trying to 5 G's a day, for real. But that's a different conversation.
I'm going to need to hop off soon, and I can always pass over like the host privileges, so you guys can always stick around. Anything else anybody have on their mind they want to throw out while we're kind of all still here?
Hey, thanks for inviting me. I appreciate the invite. I was a little late, but I made it.
No worries, man. Welcome. Good to see you again here, Zach. Also, Appliance Guru. What is your name?
Mike.
Mike. Cool, man.
Yeah.
Welcome, Mike. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's anything that anybody else wanted to jump in and throw out there. Otherwise, we can always wrap it up.
So what are you guys doing to source for techs? Are you guys using Indeed? Are you guys buying in on the the bandwagon of just hope someone's gonna like send you a resume, or are you trying to get fresh out of tech schools, Samurai or something like that, scalping your competition at the bar?
I tried Indeed, got nothing.
Right.
Wow.
I'll be honest. So when I went and I left one company and I went to Mid-America, when I walked in there, I'll be honest, I'm a cocky shit. I know what I'm doing. I'm pretty good at it, and I can usually beat any technician one-on-one in 5-star reviews or customer service. That's just, I've been doing this for a long time. I have that skill set. So when I walked into there, I came in, they're like, we're not really hiring right now. I'm like, well, I brought my application with me, and I set down my toolbox. I'm like, bring it on. And I was like, I work on everything you guys work on here, and I can blow any of your techs out of the water. So of course I had their interest, but I mean, it's like if somebody came to me with that cocky attitude, I'd embrace it. I'm like, all right, bring it on, man. Let's see what you got.
I would want to see, yeah.
I
would want to see.
You talk good, man. Let's see how you walk.
Yeah.
But I was curious to know, I mean, are you guys trying to find seasoned technicians that you can just, train them on the software and boot them out, or are you guys looking for fresh? Now, I know there's most of what I'm seeing here are, like companies I'm familiar with, but like Lake or Action, some place that has like 50 stores. I mean, they're going to be, they don't care. They just need bodies to fill trucks. But single owners and like one-man shows, what are you guys looking for? Are you looking to hire a trainee fresh so you can teach him the non-bad habits that you would want him to not know, or are you trying to find a seasoned, pro that'll come in and be able to handle the reins? What's more important to you and why?
I mean, for me, I mean, like right now, I mean, I'm just focusing on getting used to the business aspect of it, and I'm taking that slow. But the plan in the future for that is I would the first technician I hire, I would want to hire a technician that you know that knows what he's doing. Um, the train, me and have to train somebody would definitely come later for me because I'm focusing on growing, you know, and I don't want to, not in the beginning anyway, have to babysit. I don't want to have to do that, not in the beginning. But right now it's just like taking everything for us, the business side of it all in, taking that all in, and not even rushing that. You know what I mean? Because it is a steep learning curve, and I'm not in any rush, to hurry this along and miss something. But yeah, but when I am ready for it, the hire on a tech is definitely going to be my first couple of tech is going to be seasoned techs, no doubt about it.
I'm looking for both. I'd love to get a seasoned tech and give me time to train somebody.
I mean, I guess the aspect to look at is you look at experience or loyalty. I mean, can you build someone that's going to be loyal to your company, or do you build someone that's already come in ready to go? I mean, the difference is going to be their salary. So I mean, I guess that really bases on if you're a percentage commission company or if you're a salary or hourly company, to see like what kind of interest you can pull in.
Yeah, to me, percentage is the only way to go.
I agree.
Yeah, me too.
It gives them motivation, and you could even find somebody semi-good just to install parts that I don't have time to go back on. That's what I would love right now, is just a body to go put timers in, put pumps in that I don't stock. Give me into fresh meat customers and sell it, and have someone else go do the grunt work.
Yeah, commission-based techs are usually more thirsty. I mean, those are the ones that you're going to find that, I mean, if you got an extra call for that day, they'll want it. We're not commission. Oh, it's 3:30. I want to go home.
Yeah, I got local companies around me sending me applications, and I know these guys are garbage, and it's hard to talk to them. It's like I'm following up your recalls, and you're applying for a job for me, and I'm like, it ain't gonna happen. It's just kind of like, I'm like, are you pulling my leg, or are you really sending me a resume? Because I know your reputation. There's no way I'd hire you.
I really do like that sort of layered approach that you were referring to, Mark, because, and I want to say that this is going to be applicable for a lot of people that don't already have the larger company with multiple techs and their whole hiring and training process down, where you kind of start by yourself, and then you're probably going to get somebody to help on the phone, so you're able to spend your time on the repairs, and then you find yourself in a situation like I know you're in, Mark, where I imagine you want to get a seasoned tech so that you can spend less time repairing and more time working on training your greener tech. Is that kind of where your head's at with that layered approach?
And a lot of my customers I've dealt with so long, I have to warn them ahead of time that it might not be me coming out if I do have somebody else working. In the past, I've had techs that I'm working with, customers refuse to let them in. They're like, we want Mark. And they're like, well, Mark sent me. And it's like, it's a one-man show is great, but a one-man show can bite you after a while.
Yeah. Christina answers my phones, and the customers, request because of the Google reviews. A lot of them have my name on them, and they request for me, and they're like, I want Bobby. Don't send anybody else. And we're like, oh yeah, we'll send Bobby.
You got to hire a Bobby.
Oh,
Yeah.
I need 3 Bobbies, right?
Cool. You guys, by all means, stick around. I'm going to hop off. I have to hop on another call. But yeah, by all means, stick around here as long as you guys want to chat. Thank you all for attending. And I will be back here same day, same time next week.
See ya.
All right,